One of my favorite stories about writing community was a story about failure. I had recently moved into my new downtown office, Hatch, which I was super excited about. You know, we had 5 companies in here. We were investing in each of them, and it was something that a lot of momentum had produced, and it was exciting to see how it had grown from a single meetup less than 2 years before that, and to be able to move in and have those companies and see the success and the momentum continue to grow, it was really exciting. And I remember it was we moved in the middle of June of 2012, and right around that time, I had decided that I was going to try and get a little bit more notice, not just for me, but for the community, and get the business community and the early stage companies noticed. And what happened next, I decided to start going to one of the local diners where I had heard, I had been there before, but like I had heard before, that a lot of people would go there, and that was kind of the who's place to go. So I decided to just start going there, and anywhere from 2 to 5 times a week, I'd go and I'd have breakfast. Not by myself. I would bring people there, and we'd have meetings. But my goal was to meet the owner, and his name's Phil Decker. And what's interesting is, you put yourself in a place where you're looking for a specific goal. And for some reason, even though I would go there a lot, spend money there, I wouldn't receive the goal that I wanted. I didn't get noticed. And what I find very interesting is that I did that for about 2 or 3 months. And the food there is decently cheap, probably $5. I would go for the early diner breakfast. So it'd be under I think it was like $3.88 with coffee, $6, so maybe $7 total. So that would add up quickly, and I didn't see the results that I wanted. Even though I could see Phil walking by almost every day at the restaurant, at the diner, and I never got that result that I wanted. And so I slowly stopped going a lot. Not that I didn't enjoy the food, but because I wasn't receiving the result that I wanted to. And what I find interesting is that I was there many times. Probably 100 times, maybe 150 times over a 6-month period. And I didn't once get up and introduce myself to Phil, which was what I wanted. I wanted to meet with this person. It's not that I was afraid to go talk to him. I just didn't do it. And I think the moral of the story is you can be somewhere but not see the results that you want until you actually go after them. So if you have a result and you just put yourself into that place and you don't see the result that you want, go after it. So if you're online and you're trying to get someone to buy your product, and you might be at the same place that they are, but you don't tell them what you want, or you don't tell them, you don't give them reasons to buy your stuff, they're not going to. If you don't explain to people why they should use you or your product or your service, they most likely are never going to do it. And the funny story of the story of it has a great ending. So it's early January of 2013 this year, and the local newspaper asked me to write an opinion paper on what I think our area is going to look into, or what we should be looking forward to for the next year. And I basically wrote my standard answer of we're looking at these pillars, if we don't start looking at more early stage startups, that we're going to have issues, et cetera, et cetera. And what I find interesting is Phil found that article because he saw the picture of me on the paper. So it's a pretty large paper, probably like this, and then half of it is a picture of me. He goes, "Oh, I know that guy. He always comes by." And what's interesting is he actually came by my office because he knew about Hatch being where it was, and gave me the paper. This whole time, I could have reached out to him. We could have started our relationship 6 months earlier, but I was in a noisy place, like a lot of web companies are, and they're not willing to go out and get what they want. And at the end of the day, it's a good, we have a great friendship now, and I got what I wanted out of it. I wanted him to notice me. But at the end, I went about it and I got 50% of the way and wasn't willing to do the rest. So the moral of this story is you can get there and actually not see the results that you want if you don't actually ask for what you're looking for. And at the end of the day, don't go halfway and miss out on the opportunity. So if you get there, tell people what you want them to do.